Hi friend, how are you today? I'm Pat Sloan for my daily video. So we are going to do our challenge for the day. This is something you will need to do. So if you looked on your calendar, yes, I have a very scientific term for this organizational item we're going to address called the little crap. Like all that little crap that we have, all the little tiny pieces, the needles, the pins, the little jars of glue, some, little pieces of extra whatever, lots of scissors, tape measures. There's just all kinds of little things that we have. So what I have found personally is I'm going to put a picture up here of my couple of my drawers that are from in here. Because in those drawers, what I've done is I've taken one box and put littler things inside of it. And I've also taken things like mugs and put things inside of them. And then that way it keeps it organized in the drawer rather than just trying to lay it in the drawer. All those little boxes or containers or, mugs help keep everything organized. And I have been doing that for a while now, and it works super well. Speaking of mugs, look how cute this is with the flowers. I had to get it. It has flowers. This is a new mug. This is actually a tin one. Can you hear? Yeah. So keeps it hot, keeps your drink hot. So I just thought that was so cute with the flowers. I need flowers now. Need flowers. I actually have little daffodil heads coming up, but I digress. Okay. Daffodils are a little confused. It's just January. But they're close to the house, and they're like, oh, let's spring. It's spring now. All right, so your assignment today is go into that drawer of your, or bag even, or however you're keeping a box of the little tiny things that we use to do sewing. And while you're in there, one of our other tasks for the month is to, I have this note here, toss status. So remember, we're trying to toss things out, trying to get rid of things that we're not using, that aren't working, that are maybe old, used up. You have like a glue stick in there that's dried up. Out. Get it out of here. All right, that is what's going on today for you. So I have to show you my scarf. Isn't this absolutely fabulous? Thank you, Farah. Farah sent this to me. It is spectacular. It has a stripe. It's got a big paisley on it. It's silk. And it's probably made from a sari. I think that's what it is. So it's got all the hand stitching. It is just fabulous. It is so beautiful. I can't wait to wear it all day. So it's like, yes, it's really pretty. Thank you, Farah. Mwah. It's like so what else are we doing? I am working on the small heart, and I wanted to show you something else that I'm doing with it that is a tip. So we're having a heart tip today. Ta-da-da! So I am going to grid quilt this, which I have not really done a grid quilt in a while, where I'm a bit more meticulous about the grid. Now this is the 12-inch block, so it's really small. So I am going to put the walking foot on my Baby Lock Solaris, which, because it's a computerized walking foot, it is big. So this is my walking foot for the Solaris, and if you have a Crescendo or a Destiny or many of the other Baby Lock machines that have the computerized walking feet, that's why it's got a cord, so you'll be able to see that. I actually did a video with walking foot quilting for Baby Lock using that. So if I can find that, I will link to it. So let's take a look, because what I'm doing is painter's tape. Painter's tape is your friend because it doesn't leave sticky residue on your fabric. Although you can see mine is curling up. I think I've had my painter's tape a while. Actually, this is Greg's. I had to go borrow it back, as he informed me it's his painter's tape. So this is painter's tape. And it doesn't leave that sticky residue, like I said. So I'm going to do the grid work right all the way out. So wherever, every 1 inch. So, and then I'm going to go the opposite. So I'm going to cross hatch and have total grid work on here at the 1 inch mark. So the heart is my 1 inch. They're all 1 inch blocks. So that is what I'm trying to mark off. And I want to mark these longer lines. Something super short, like right here, I can follow the seam and go right out. So I don't need to be as, you know, precise. But I might tape it anyway. So I will run the walking foot. I will be sewing right next to, whoops, here we go. I'll be sewing right next to that paint tape, you know, the painter's tape. I don't want to sew on it, but if you sew on it, it'll rip out. So I mean, you just pull it out from under the stitch. It won't be a problem. So the other thing is I want to decide on color of thread. So we need to see the light over here. And I brought this stack of spools because I can't decide whether I don't want to have a really dark grid line, but I want to see what that looks like with a spool of thread. So I could do a test. That's one way you could do it. You could just take this light fabric and make a little square, and then take each one of these spools and just do a straight line. I mean, your square only has to be like, you know, this big, you know, like 4 or 5 inches. And then you could just do a straight line with each one of the thread colors and see which one you like. I have done that, but I often will just lay the thread over top. So here the cream will definitely look exactly like the background. It's just going to give texture. You won't actually see color to the grid work. And then on the patches, I'm going to be sewing right next to the seam. And so I don't mind the cream if it's on the dark. That's okay with me. So that's the cream thread. Now I said I was wondering what the dark thread would look like. So here's a dark pink. And if I put the dark pink out here, then you definitely see that color. You know, it is not going to blend in at all out here. And if you have a wobble or any imperfection, particularly on a small piece, you know, you're probably going to notice that. So be on your A game. If you're using the dark threads, you want to be sure. Now I'm going to lay right next to this some other threads. I have a variegated, which is really pretty because that will change colors, and it's kind of an orangey pink, which I think is kind of neat. So like if I'm moving this right now, there it's darker, but if I unwind it a bit more, do you see there now it's light. So here was the other end of the thread is dark, and this end it variegates to light. So you may not want on such a small piece that variegation, because it might look like you forgot to sew something. Where the light is, where it matches, it'll be like dark, dark, light. Yo, you missed sewing that. Dark, dark, dark. That's how my brain kind of works. Then I have these two other pinks, which are super close in color, and the one doesn't have as much on it. So, excuse me, and it's a little bit lighter. So that is the one I'm going to use because I'd like to use it up. That's one of my goals, is to use it up. And get a little sip of coffee there. So this is what I'm thinking I'm going to do. And if it looks like I'm going to run out, I will put this one in the bobbin. Or I might just do that to begin with. Put this in the bobbin. And then that one on top. Okay, that is what I'm doing with the heart. And I will be doing the grid work. So I'm excited about that because I want to play with that. I haven't done it with grid work for a long time, and I think it will be really pretty. This will go on my wall here in my studio. After, I'll probably hang it in my living room for a little while, and then after Valentine's Day, I'll probably bring it in here to the studio and hang because, you know, it's red and white. Got a little tickle in my throat today. Now, the other thing is the big heart that I want to start working on, and I haven't done that yet. So this is the fabric that I was originally going to use, was the pinks from, what was it called? Sanctuary? Yes, Sanctuary. This is a Three Sisters line. I was going to use these pinks and reds here. This line is not in the shop yet. Many fabrics are delayed. Things are delayed. Like those of you waiting for fat quarter bundles again in Morrison Park, there's still delays on some of the pieces coming in. It's just, everywhere everything takes longer right now. So I don't know. I was going to do that, and then I also had the bundle of Homestead by my friend April Rosenthal, which has these reds. So let's take a look at those, because I'm thinking maybe that is the ticket. because if I need to get more, I can get more right now. This batch came from the manufacturer. They sent it to me. So let's open this up and pull the reds out. Oop. All right. Be lovely if I'd done this in advance, right? And we'll just pull the big floral too. Okay, so the big heart, like look at the little one. You know, what we have is like I have a lot of colors here, and that worked, you know, because I don't know why, it just worked. And so here, if I throw in these lighter colors, I've got the little stripe and the big floral then, and this is sort of like the medium tone, and then these will all read darker. So, oh, she's got little plants like eggplant on there, little pumpkin, carrots. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Okay, so that gives me all of these to, if I want to do the 3-inch heart. What I have to watch out for is that these two maybe stay more in the internal and they don't go on any of the edges, so that I don't lose the edge of the heart into the background. So I am thinking I might go for this. I really do love those pinks, but I think I might use that whole bundle later on for another project and go with these from Homestead, because I think I might want to put a border on it on the 35-inch, if I wanted to put a border on the outside, or if I wanted to get a little bit more, because even like this one, this would be a really pretty border on it. I think that's really pretty. So if I want to do that, I want to be able to get it now. It's always a dilemma. What can I get now? Now. We are so used to being able to order things and have it come right away. It's okay. So I'm also, just one quick, I'm also getting my cross stitch, my snowman guy. Look at him. So here is from the January markings. So I'm almost got him done. And then I will start doing part of the corner. Now this has like across the top, you know, there's 12 of these and they're long. I guess technically I could, you know, there's words. I'm just going to keep it that way. I could reformat it. No. But there's a lot of border work. And so I'm going to do part of the border work, and then I might take a break from this and work on an older piece. So that's kind of my plan. This is what the whole piece looks like with the saying and everything. All right, my friend. So I hope you're working on your hearts. Be sure that you also look in your little drawer for all the little stuff that you store and get some of that organized today. Get rid of some of the old stuff. Links are all below to everything I talked about. So I love you. Mwah. See you online.